What's up there, Kiss Army? Tom and Zeus back. Another episode, Shout It Out Loudcast. Tom, we're up to episode 10. Aptly titled, All for the Glory. Tommy, how the hell are you?
10 episodes. That is insanity. We should have named this episode something else, like, I don't know what. Dark Light.
Because we made it to 10? That's quite an accomplishment.
Now we can retire.
Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, we got plenty more.
That's
we
right.
Even scratched the surface of all the stupid Kiss topics me and you have off the top of our heads, right?
That is right.
Oh, unbelievable. So, what's going on in Kiss world? Oh, actually, what's going on with you? How's life?
What's going on with me?
Yeah. Let's hear about it. Maybe people care about you.
Well, they probably don't, but here's a funny story about my personal life right now. I gave up I gave up drinking for Lent.
What? Why would you do something like that?
I don't know, because I felt like doing something stupid, and it's been a really long week. And I still got, 34 more days to go?
I have no idea what the hell it is. We always have Greek Easter, so...
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I fall on the same day or not this year. I don't know. All I know, I can't wait for the lamb when it's Greek Easter Day.
Oh, gross.
Roasted a lamb right off. Delicious.
Oh,
anyways.
That's gross.
Yeah. Anyways. We have family stuff finishing up. Still, we're getting into the middle of spring. Weather's getting a little bit better over here in Boston, right?
Finally,
Snow's
yes.
melting. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Yep. I had the luxury of spending time in Hartford last weekend, as I told you.
Oof.
Oh, my daughter wanted me to mention that. Oh, I went to her cheer competition. Have you ever been to a cheer competition?
No, thank God.
Yeah. that is quite an experience. But I got to watch her win. You know, they beat out 10 teams. She did well. She had fun.
Awesome.
But you know what? I'm probably better off not saying anything. But those that have had daughters and brought them to cheer competitions, I think you guys know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my weekend, and that was my week.
Yay.
And other than checking the news for Kiss stories, I'm not seeing much, buddy. Are you?
No, and it feels like the more that the tour keeps rolling on, the less news, which is good. I mean, like we mentioned on last week's episode, the only news we continue to see is just positive reviews. I mean, there's no drama.
That is one thing. Remember last night I was texting you, my crazy older cousin Mike was in Detroit. Got to see them at the concert in Detroit.
Oh, yeah.
He was sending me some videos and stuff, and of course, he starts with the unemployed painter. Paints his toenails. He does just some job on his car. I used a roller there. Yeah, and then somehow along the way, I think he fell asleep or he passed out. He woke up, and next thing you know, he's sending me rock and roll all night. Like, when's the rest of the concert?
He missed the whole show?
I don't know, but it looked awesome. I've yet to actually hear from him. I'm sure he'll tell me it was awesome.
Yep.
He's obviously the guy that got me into Kiss, and he got to see him in Detroit. I'm sure that concert was awesome.
Oh, I can imagine. Can you imagine when they opened up with Detroit Rock City in Detroit?
Oh, they loved it.
Yeah, it must have been great. Yep.
Oh yeah. So that's about really it. I don't see much tour going along. You know.
Yeah.
That's about it. We got our few concerts coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yes, when this episode drops, it will be 1 week until the show at Mohegan Sun in Connecticut.
Oh, can't wait.
Yep.
We'll have a couple episodes talking about it next week, and we'll talk about it after when we're done.
Yep.
I can't wait to tell you guys about it. I'm excited for it. Other than that, we got some Kiss stuff.
Well, wait, hold on. You forgot huge breaking news.
What?
Gene Simmons peddling his Moneybag soda. Every time I open up Twitter, all I see is this fucking soda. Dude.
Every time I'm in the kitchen, you in the kitchen, selling your goddamn money soda.
enough already with the soda.
I like sugar cane.
I mean, look, I haven't seen it anywhere. I don't know if I'm supposed to go to the 7-Eleven around my corner and ask the guy, but I'm afraid he'll throw me out of his store if I ask him where the money bag display is.
Like, he's hawking it as though it's like, hey, there's soda. You can have soda, like in a convenience store. I can buy some soda. Yeah, they've been doing that for about a fucking 1,000 years, buddy.
I think somebody needs to remind him that you're the bass player for Kiss. Stop with the soda.
He's got cotton candy in one corner, popcorn in the other, selling soda. Oh,
Peter Chris throwing bags of peanuts at people.
It's just hawking everything these days. So, what? Tell me about the stuff we were talking about, the memorabilia. What else did you buy? We bought some Kiss items.
Okay.
We're not big collectors either, so I'm just throwing that out there. But I went out on eBay. You went out and got something too. What'd you get?
Yeah. So I went on, I'm sure anybody listening to this is familiar with the website Kiss Army Warehouse. Oh, talk about going on a rabbit hole with your wallet. Forget it.
Stay away. I don't
unless you're prepared to spend some serious money. That's a dangerous website. It's awesome. But no, I was just kind of looking at some stuff, and this came out in 2006, and I swear to God, I think I already have it, but if I did, I couldn't find it.
I'll buy it anyways.
So I bought it anyways. It was the Kiss Got to Choose card game. I'll tell you right now, the best part of the game, each card has the original lineup, classic makeup photos on all the cards. That's probably the best part of the game. It's a card game. It's kind of stupid. There's like 3 different categories. There's trivia. There's like song lyrics, like fill in the blank. You know, like these are like what song lyrics. But then there's another section.
Put your blank into her fireplace.
Exactly. But the best part of this, there's a section where it's like Kiss, like truth or dare. Like,
you stick your finger in Ace's ass.
It's close. They got one. I just got to read one of these. It's like, it's cold gin time again. Tell us a story about the drunkest you ever gotten at a Kiss show.
Tell us this time you threw up on the friggin' road crew and they threw you out of the concert.
Here's another one. Making love. Have you ever done it while listening to Kiss?
These are like Beavis and Butthead like questions.
I mean, the trivia is kind of cool. It's kind of easy for people like us, but you know, it's a cool collector's item. Like I said, if anything, you get some unbelievably classic, cool classic Kiss photos. And in the package that it came with too, I was familiar with this. I had heard of it, but there's another dangerous website. It's called KissPickWorld.com, and it's a website that has all official guitar picks from like all their concerts, like different graphics, logos, like picks from like, you know, old concerts, Kiss crews, picks with the face of the band members on them. It's actually a really cool thing. It's KissPickWorld.com.
Anything else you want to plug? Anybody else's website you want to plug today?
Well, let's see. We did Moneybag Soda. We did Kiss Army Warehouse. We Kiss Pick World.
Oh, God.
All right, go ahead. What do you got? Go ahead.
So I went out, and I'm trying to be a completist as far as the music goes. I mean, obviously, I basically have everything, but I went out and got the Jigaku Retsuden CD, and it's got the DVD on it, and it's the one where it's all the current lineup where they redid basically the hits, and I believe that's the same one as it's on the what's it called there? The
Kissology?
No, yeah. Oh. The Psycho Circus. Remember they always threw in that extra CD?
Oh, yeah, when they re-recorded the songs.
Yeah. It's basically that.
Okay. Yeah.
And, you know, with that being said, it's, you know, I got that. I mean, you know, it looked different. I got it from Japan. I bought it. It was all sealed and wrapped and,
yep.
You know, I got it because he was one of those eBay deals where, basically you can save $10 if you bought him. Like, you know what? Let me see. And I finally found it for a decent price, brand new in its package.
Yep.
And I got it. And it says here on Wikipedia, there's a limited CD DVD set released in 2008 by the band Kiss. Oh, really? Exclusively in Japan. Includes 15 re-recorded classic Kiss tracks by the 2008 lineup, which is the current lineup. The DVD portion of the bundle is concert footage from a 1977 performance at Budokan Hall in Tokyo, Japan. And the CD was re-released by Kiss as part of the Digipack Deluxe edition of their album Sonic Boom, along with concert footage from the Alive 35 tour.
Okay.
So I just got this. I haven't opened it. I asked people on Twitter, should I open it? And I think everybody was of the opinion, don't open it. Don't open it. Did
you open it?
I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't. One of these guys, who's this guy? Uwe, something from Germany. I thought it was Uwe Krupp from the Colorado Avalanche, who scored the game-winning goal in the Stanley Cup Finals against the Florida Panthers.
I have a feeling he's not on Twitter following Kiss.
Well, I don't know. I thought it was Uwe Krupp here. What for? The original recordings are much better. To me, this album is just to be collected. Done. Okay, Uwe Krupp.
Settle down, dude.
I'll see you at the Colorado Avalanche alumni game and appreciate your Kiss comments. Yeah. So that's it for me. I've got a couple other CDs. I don't even remember which ones I ordered.
Yep.
When they come in, they're like those bootleg ones.
Yeah.
They'll come in, I'll talk about it next week. But they're all from friggin' Brazil.
Yeah. Kiss, Brazil.
Kiss, Brazil.
Now, the DVD that comes with that Japanese thing, is that the concert from Kissology?
I believe so. It's the same concert, but it looks like the tracks are a little bit different. There's one or two missing.
Okay.
I'll double check on that. I'll be honest with you.
No, it's a great.
I don't know because I'm not going to open it.
No, it's a great collector's item.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Throw it on the side,
Yep.
And I was looking at that Chikara.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And, I was looking to see if I want to spend $500 on a CD.
Yeah, I know. That's a big one.
Going on a mini vacation somewhere instead of buying a CD that I won't open. But, yeah, that's really it. I don't have anything for the news other than that, buddy.
No, it's been quiet, which is good, I guess. The drama's kind of died down since the show, the tour kicked off. That's good.
Right. So let's talk about why we call this All for the Glory. What are we doing?
Well, we are going to do it's March. March Madness starts soon. So my travels through Twitter, anybody that may follow my individual Twitter page, I got this idea. I'm a huge horror movie fan. And I got this idea because one of the horror movie Twitter pages that I follow, they do a horror movie like March Madness bracket. And I saw a couple other Twitter sites I saw. They did a classic rock album bracket, a frontman bracket, all this stuff. So
go back to the one that I sent you today.
Oh, I was gonna let you tell us about that one.
Oh, there was like a hot chick from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s.
Yep.
I think today's was like Buffy versus somebody. I'm like,
yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, Buffy was like the number one seed in that bracket. Yep.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so it kind of inspired us to kind of look at it and be like, shit, wouldn't that be awesome if we did like a Kiss song bracket? Now, wait.
We were like, wouldn't it be cool if somebody else did it? And then we're like, fuck, no one's doing it. So let's just do it ourselves.
Exactly. But it's funny because we started out with like a Kiss, like in general song bracket, and we got through it. We're like, okay, this can only be makeup. We can't get. There's too many songs.
We're at 50 and we're not even in creatures.
Right. Exactly. Right. So that prompted us to do what we are calling the Kiss Makeup Madness 64-team song tournament.
Right.
Now, this episode, it's recording on Thursday. The episode will drop on a Saturday. But as we speak, the quote-unquote play-in matchups are going on right now. For anybody that follows the college basketball tournament, they have play-in games, and those guys are relegated to getting their ass kicked in the first round of the real tournament. But it kind of made it easy for us because it gave us a chance to add in a couple extra songs because this was tough.
This is Kissel. This was really tough.
Yeah. I mean, I looked at it. Every time I take a look at this, there's a couple songs that I love that aren't on this. I'm sure there's going to be a couple songs that a lot of people like that aren't on this.
And so that's one of the things I want to jump in here, Tommy, is we did this and we picked this. This isn't my pick. This isn't your pick.
Exactly.
This is what we think is out there and most popular, and we want the fans to pick, like us.
Yep.
Curious to see what everyone goes with. So, whereas, I might say, oh, I love that Peter Criss song. I'm not going to put a Peter Criss song in the top seed. Okay? Right. I don't want to get hung. So, for me, it's pretty. It's different. We all have our niche Kiss songs. We did this with the general public Kiss army in mind.
Yeah, we did this. Like Zeus said, we made these brackets. We seeded them, 4 brackets, 16 songs each.
And what are the brackets?
They are Spaceman, Demon, Catman, and Starchild.
Holy shit! How did that manage to work out like that, huh?
I know, huh? Now, just for clarification, obviously you'll see this, but like the Spaceman bracket, it's not all Ace songs. The Demon bracket, it's not all Gene songs.
Exactly. We didn't do it that way.
No.
We literally, I think we came up with the songs and mixed them up, and then we said, okay, let's just go alphabetical, clockwise. We'll go top left to the right all the way down, and we just went alphabetical. Ace, Gene, Paul, Peter, whatever we came up with. Actually, I don't think that's clockwise, but I think we just went.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
But that's how we did it. We just randomly picked them.
Yeah, and like Zeus said, the songs, the seating, it's what we think anybody crazy enough to do a Kiss tournament bracket would want. Again, there's songs on here that I like. There's songs that I like that are not on here, and you can't please everybody. I mean, we got 68 songs we put in here, including the playing games. So, when the episode drops, we're gonna. You'll see we want people to, print out, fill out a bracket, just get some conversation, get some argument. We already got some fighting on Twitter right now about the play-in games. People complaining about having to pick between 2 different songs. I told them it's going to get worse.
Yeah. And, we apologize. I wish we knew how to do this a little bit better, but our post didn't go out correctly this morning. But that's only for the play-in game, so we're not really that concerned.
No.
When the polls come in, we don't want to, annoy the shit out of everybody by constantly posting, these tournament polls. But you know what? Get used to it. They're going to be out and around this next couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I think and Kiss fans love Kiss, and they love arguing and picking and deciding over. So I think it's going to be fun for everybody. We hope.
Yeah, and that's what we want to make this just something fun and enjoyable and a conversation starter. Yeah. And obviously, it works and it's better with more people involved.
Yeah.
So what I ask is, we're asking people to just come out, repost, retweet, pass it on, tell people about it, go on. We want to see more interaction. Okay?
Yeah, and you can post a bracket of what your personal bracket champion would look like and what you think it might look like.
I mean,
you might look at this and be like, shit, you know what? Creatures of the Night, that's my national champion in the Kiss tournament. But then you might want to be like, well, how is everybody else going to pick? Let me, what do I think? So like you said, it's just something fun to do. I know it's something unique. Of all the things I've seen on Twitter and Facebook, I've never seen a Kiss tournament. So I figured, hey, let's do it.
So, and the other part to that is if you post your pictures of your things, we will count them. Okay. It depends on, the turnout. Let's be honest. If I get a bunch, I'm not going to kill myself and grade these things every day. But I will, if we get, a reasonable amount, I will keep track. And I will eventually come to the point where I will pick, the one that has the best points. and we'll do it like normal tournament style, where it's 1 point, I believe, in the first round, and you move up as you get closer to the champion. And we'll see who has the winning tournament pool. And the winner, we are going to actually give something away.
Yes.
Since we are new, don't expect us to be giving away a brand new car.
Yes.
This isn't Kiss The Price Is Right. So we're going to have we're slowly getting our T-shirts made, and they're going to be pretty cool. And you will get a Shout It Out Loudcast T-shirt. So the winner will get a T-shirt. We'll mail it out to you, but we need your picks.
Yep.
So you need to post them, and you need to have those posted before one of the polls closes, right?
Yep.
So don't worry about the playing games, because by the time you listen to this, the playing games will be over. We're talking about the first round. You need to have your picks in before the first round is over.
Right. Which, as of right now, based on our scheduling, that would probably be by, the episode's going to drop with the brackets on Saturday. So you're going to want to get, if you're interested and you want to do this, I would have your brackets to us by Monday evening. It gives you 48 hours to look at it and turn it into us.
Yeah, that's it. And just post it and just tag us and, make up madness. That's what we're calling it. And that's the hashtag. So without further ado, let's
do some
start.
This is like CBS Sports bracket breakdown.
Let's talk about Kiss, baby.
Oh, man.
So here we go. Let's go first to the Spaceman bracket.
Yep.
And the number one seed is She Dropped a Deuce.
Yep. Deuce. Now, a comment about the number one seeds in general. Do we want? I know we're covering the Spaceman bracket. Do we want to kind of throw out what the 4 number one seeds are? Or?
Well, when we get to it, we'll get to the other ones. But I think the ones that we picked are pretty straightforward. 3 out of the 4, me and you both had.
Right. Now, I guess, and just
this is the only one that we differed a little bit, but we came around to it and just say, this pick Deuce.
Right. And a general kind of comment about that is, I think you had mentioned this not long ago, that Kiss, with all their albums, their songs, their touring, their history, they're not like a hit single like band. Like if we were making a bracket right now for like Van Halen or Aerosmith or Zeppelin or AC/DC, don't you think you could almost instantly name the 4 number one seeds and there would be almost no argument? Like, it took us a while to get the 4th number one seed to agree on, don't you think?
Yeah. The thing with Kiss is, like, most bands, especially in the 80s and 90s, if you say their music videos are their songs they play in their concert, those are the hits. You're not here. Kiss isn't playing Reason to Live. Mm-hmm. They're not playing Forever. They're not playing Every Time I Look at You.
Right.
They're not playing. Well, they were playing Hide Your Heart, but they're not playing Who Wants to Be Lonely.
Right.
I mean, they're gone from the sets. Yeah. So they don't even play those songs. They play the other songs.
Yep.
I mean, who was going out and buying friggin' Let Me Go Rock and Roll as a single?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
but it's funny, but it's funny, but to Kiss fans like us, all these songs are like hits. You know what I mean? So it's I just thought it was kind of interesting. But let's get back to the Spaceman. So the number one seed is Deuce,
and that's going to play the winner of Coming Home. And Is That You?
Yes, which, again, the polls are currently active. By the time you hear this episode, it'll be over. Yep. But right now, that's a pretty tight race.
Okay.
So as tight as that race may be, I struggle to believe that either of them can knock off Deuce. But, you never know. You never know. Kiss fans are crazy, right?
So then you go down the line. You got Firehouse and King of the Nighttime World.
Yep, those are your 8. That's your 8 and 9 matchup,
and that's the typical. Where do I go?
Yep.
Who's going to win that game? I don't know. I love those songs.
Well, that's the thing. You could do this bracket today, and in 3 days, it would be totally different results depending on your mood.
Yeah.
You know
and
what I
then
mean?
you got what do you got after that? You got War Machine versus Rock Bottom.
Yep. You got War Machine as the 5, Rock Bottom as the 12. Again, I know who I would pick in that, but that's another one. I mean, look at that. You got Rock Bottom as a 12 seed.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that stuff is me and you each picked. Where did you have it? Where did I have it? And then we pick in the middle if you fell in the middle, something like that.
But that's my point, is that, like, as diehard Kiss fans, a song that awesome is a 12 seed in a bracket. Yep. You know what I mean?
Then we have Shock Me versus I.
Yep. You got Shock Me at number 4, I at number 13.
Take Me versus Watching You.
That's the 6 versus the 11.
God of Thunder versus Tonight You Belong to Me.
Yep. God of Thunder, you got them at number 3 with going up against the 14.
Christine 16 versus Hard Luck Woman.
Yep. 7 and 10.
Come On and Love Me versus Modern Day Delilah.
Yep, there's your 2 and your 15 right there. So, yeah. I mean, you know, just looking at this bracket real quickly, you kind of get a feel for how tough this is all going to be for everybody. You know? I mean, there's a couple songs in there for me personally that I know I'm just going to kind of zip through. But there's a couple matchups that's like, shit, what kind of mood am I in right now? Because I don't know what I'm going to do.
So, looking at this for me, right off the bat, I say the hardest pick that I'm going to have is between Firehouse and King of the Nighttime World. And I would probably say both of those songs live, like King of the Nighttime World live 2 and Firehouse live or from a live, those are better versions, and that would make it even harder.
Yeah.
We're always going by the album version. That's to me is the hardest battle.
Yep.
Where I think, you know what? I'm not picking by where I'm not saying what I think is going to win because that's what I want to win. But my sleeper, I think that's going to probably pull this one out. I look at that list and I probably say, "Come On and Love Me."
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't be surprised if looking at this. I mean, I love Deuce, and it is a number 1 seed. I would not be shocked if that doesn't get out of the second round, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a popular song. It's an opening song. It's on a million compilations, but it could be one of those, you know what? We're tired of it.
Yep. And that's that's the thing. If people vote with that mentality, which is their right, that's their right.
I've heard it. I want to hear this song.
Yep. For a deep sleeper, for me, I mean, and when I say deep sleeper, I say based on the seeding that we created out of nowhere. You got Tonight You Belong to Me at a 14. That is regarded by some as the best song on Paul's album, which many Kiss fans think is the best. I know a lot of people think Aces, but in terms of the Kiss sound, you're looking at Tonight You Belong to Me as a 14. That could cruise a little bit. I know it's going up against God of Thunder, but I don't know.
I'm careful of watching where not a favorite of mine, but I'm curious to see where Shock Me will go.
Yeah, well, look at the matchups.
How well it's liked.
Well, I think if we assume it knocks off I in the first round, look at that second round matchup. Rock Bottom, or War Machine. I mean, that right there, that's tough.
Yeah, I got a feeling it's going to go further than I expect.
It's
so
tough.
that's the ace bracket.
Yep.
Let's hop, skip, and a jump over, all the way over to Gene Simmons, the Demon.
The Demon.
Yeah. What do we got over there?
Well, we got number 1 here. Detroit Rock City is our number 1 seed.
Yeah, pretty obvious, right?
Yeah.
That's a number 1 seed.
Yeah, pretty easy. And that will be facing the winner of Tomorrow versus Tomorrow and Tonight, which, again, as of right now, I know when you hear this, you'll know the answer, but right now, tight race.
You like how we came up with that, huh? Tomorrow.
Yeah, you like that. Clever, huh?
And Tonight.
And then go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I mean, that's a tight race, and that comes into number 16.
This looks like a really I'm looking around. All these brackets are brutal. This one looks tough though, because then you kind of go down the way the bracket.
All right, you go do this list. Go ahead, you do it. Go ahead, go ahead. Shoot. Go ahead.
So you got number 8, Nothing to Lose versus number 9.
These 8 and 9s are fucking tough.
But it's the same way in like the real the real tournament with basketball, So you got number 8, Nothing to Lose. Number 9, Do You Love Me? Okay, yeah. That's a tough one. Now the next pairing is tough for me personally, although I know.
Not for me.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. Number 5, Mr. Speed at a 5 seed against number 12, All American Man. All right.
Yep.
You move down. You got number 4, I Was Made for Loving You versus number 13, Charisma, a dynasty matchup.
Yeah.
Then we move down to another favorite pairing of mine. Number 6, Love Her All I Can, 11, Ladies Room. Ugh. Now this next pairing, I might not vote on this pairing here. You got number 3, I Love It Loud versus number 14, Let Me Go, Rock and Roll.
Let me go.
All right, then we got number 7, 100,000 Years, going up against number 10, Psycho Circus.
Yeah.
Exactly. Then we got the next matchup. Number 2, Black Diamond versus 15 off of Ace's album, Speedin' Back to My Baby.
Speeding back to my cocaine.
What do we think of what do we think of this bracket?
Might shock people there, but I love Black Diamond.
Yeah.
Love it. Black Diamond as a number 2 seed. That's a tough bracket. If that's your number 2, whoa.
Yep.
For me personally, the Nothing to Lose, Do You Love Me is toughest probably for me to pick. But they got some great songs. When I Love It Loud is 3. I mean, Come on.
This bracket for me is a little bit easier. This bracket, I think I'm going to cruise through. There's a couple matchups that are going to make it tough. I know this is personally speaking, but again, as some of the diehards that are out there, Mr. Speed could do some damage in this bracket. It could do some damage in this bracket, I think. I think like Zeus kind of did that little yawning gesture. Me personally, I think there's a couple snoozers in this bracket. For me, I know that they're hits. Mm-hmm. But I think this bracket might be a little bit easier for me to get through than the Spaceman bracket.
Yeah, but Detroit Rock City, I don't know if that from fatigue will suffer from fatigue as some of the other big hits from them.
But you know what though, I don't think it's. I hope. I mean, and again, people are going to vote how they want to vote. But fatigue, that's not. It's not fair. But I know it's a natural.
But let me ask you.
Yeah.
In the previous bracket, I could see 1 or 2, maybe 3 songs being number 1 over there.
Yeah.
This bracket,
yep.
I could see about 3 to 4.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be shocked.
No, you're right.
Right?
It's true. Yeah, you're right.
3 to 4 big songs. I mean, Mr. Speed is such a cult that you never know how much of a cult it is until we see a pool like this. Detroit Rock City could just win on its own. Black Diamond could certainly beat it out. And, you've got some other ones in there. I Love It Loud. Everyone loves that song live.
Go ahead.
So I think those ones could really make a difference.
Well, like you said, as people voting against Detroit Rock City based on fatigue, that might be the thing that propels Mr. Speed. There is no fatigue for that song.
Exactly. So we'll see.
You know what I mean?
But it depends on who's voting. Is it Kiss Army or rock fans?
Yeah, exactly.
If it's Kiss Army, Mr. Speed might do it. If it's just, rock fans out there, they're like, oh, I know Detroit Rock City. I'd pick that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So that's a great side. So let's skip on down over to the bottom left, the Star Child division. Number 1 over there. Star Child. You're looking for someone, and it's not Kiss.
Oh, God.
Love Gun, number 1.
Yep.
What do you think?
Well, yeah. Here's the thing, okay? This kind of brings me back to my earlier point. Okay, I think the stone cold lock for number ones were Detroit Rock City and Rock and Roll All Night. Okay, I know that there are people out in the Twitter sphere, that really aren't huge fans of Love Gun. That they think it's a good song, and they might look at this bracket and be like, "How the fuck is that a number 1 seed?" Okay, but again, we picked this based on longevity, appearances in concerts, appearances in
popularity,
exactly,
more well known.
Right. Yeah. Now that's going to be facing what? That's going to be facing the winner
of Into the Void in Hell or Hallelujah.
Okay,
Hallelujah.
Which right now is another close matchup. So we don't know.
I'm crack. Hell or Hallelujah.
Oh God, here we go. God. Well, whichever one of those Love Gun faces, it's going to be a landslide, I would think. But you never know. Kiss fans are weird.
Yep. Then let's skip on down. You got a plastic caster there, and Rip It Out. What do you say there?
Well, for Rip It Out to be a number 9 seed, that's ridiculous. Rip It, this is again where you come personally. Rip It Out would be like a number 1 seed for me. But again,
I look at that again. 8 and 9 are the best songs. It's the hardest one.
Yep.
Right?
That's a tough one. Yeah.
How about this one? Rocket Ride versus Strange Ways. Holy shit.
Yeah. Rocket Ride's the 5, Strange Ways is the 12. I mean,
Calling Dr. Love versus Say Yeah.
Oh, slow down there, Gunsmoke. We gotta, come on. Calling Dr. Love, that's a 4. Say Yeah's the 13. Yeah, that's All right, keep going.
I Want You versus
She's Radioactive. Yeah, I Want You a 6, Radioactive an 11. That's interesting there. Uh-oh, here we go. Your favorite matchup.
Oh. Parasite versus Shandy. Oh,
yeah. Parasite's a 3, Shandy's the 14.
She versus 2000 Man.
Yep.
Don't you know? Cold Gen versus Wouldn't You Like to Know Me?
Yep. Cold Gin, the number 2. Wouldn't You Like to Know Me? The 15. Another Paul song with a low seed.
What do you think? Gin could have been a number 1.
Absolutely, it could have.
Yeah.
What do you think of this bracket here?
Well, I'll tell you, the one that sticks out, you got Plastic Caster versus Rip It Out, Rocket Ride versus Strange Ways. I don't know where this is going to be. You know what? I would say with, probably with, the one above it there with Deuce being knocked out early, I wouldn't be shocked if Love Gun gets knocked out early.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
I think you're for an upset.
Yeah, I think you're overestimating Strange Ways. I think Rocket Ride, a lot of people think Rocket Ride is like Ace's best song. I would be blown away if that knocks out Strange Ways.
I don't know why they never play it, though.
Strange Ways?
No, Rocket Ride.
Rocket
they don't
Ride,
make an issue out of it, right?
I know. Yeah, no, I know. This looks like a little bit of an easier, quote unquote, easier bracket for me to go through.
Yeah, I'm not stressed out as the other ones.
Yeah,
picking on this one, right?
Now, again, I'm gonna reference Paul's solo album like I did in the Spaceman bracket. You're talking Fatigue. I mean, is there a chance that Wouldn't You Like to Know Me can knock out Cold Gin?
No.
Okay.
But I feel bad. A good song like Wouldn't You Like to Know Me? Hey, good luck. You're playing Gold Gin.
I know. Well,
good luck. You're playing Kentucky. That's what it's like.
That's pretty much what it is. Yeah, you made the tournament. You're playing Cold Gin. I mean, you're right.
Exactly. Yeah. This one should be fun and interesting. The Star Child. Star Child.
Yeah.
Next. And finally, bottom right, we have the Catman.
Yep.
And what's number 1 over there, brother?
All right, so we got Rock and Roll All Night versus the winner of Room Service versus I Still Love You, which as of right now, Room Service is cruising, which, you know, I don't really have a problem with that. You know, I Still Love You, good song. It's not Room Service. You know what I mean? You know, and then we keep going. We keep going now. We got another tough 8-9 matchup. We got Making Love at number 8 versus number 9, Creatures of the Night. Then we go down to a Beth at number 5, Sure Know Something at number 12.
Oh yeah,
that's. Ugh. Then here's a matchup I like that could be interesting. I doubt it, but you never know. Well, let me get through it first, then we'll talk about it. You get number 4, Strutter, versus number 13, The Oath.
Oh,
woo! Oh, here's an easy one.
Strutter's going to get killed by fatigue.
Here's an easy one for me. Number 6, Hotter Than Hell, versus number 11, Nowhere to Run off Killers.
Oh, that's going to fucking do some damage.
Yep. Another interesting matchup. You got a fan favorite versus kind of an under the radar. Number 3, I Stole Your Love, versus number 14, Dark Light.
That is a battle of the
Yep.
kind of cult favorites.
Yep. Then you got number 7, New York Groove, versus number versus number 10, Got to Choose. And then look at this again, Paul Stanley solo, a low number. Number 2, Shout It Out Loud, versus number 15, It's All Right. Poor Paul Stanley's getting screwed with these matchups.
Dude, Peter has no solo songs.
No.
Gene has 1. How is Paul getting screwed? He's got 2.
Well, he's got 3.
He's got 3, and we're bitching? Come on.
No, because they're all low seeds, but they should be. They have to be.
Where are they gonna be?
So what do you think of this? What do you think of this bracket?
It's fun.
Yep.
I know where I'm gonna put It's All Right. I'd love to see an upset there. It'd be tough.
I would not be surprised if It's All Right as a 15
pulls it out over Shout It Out Loud.
Well, like you said, Zeus, it depends on who votes. It depends on who is filling out these votes.
Yep. I'm curious. I mean, I'd love to see Sure Know Something do some damage, like Gene going through some chili con queso.
Sure Know Something's gonna beat Beth. That's my prediction. I think this bracket right here. I think this bracket is ripe for upsets.
Yeah,
based on seeding. Like you said, if you're talking about fatigue, I mean, people love The Oath. People love that song.
Congratulations, Nowhere to Run. You made it as the underdog. Great. You made it the underdog. Now you got to beat I Stole Your Love.
No, Nowhere to Run's playing Harder Than Hell.
Yeah, if that's what I'm saying. If they win that, congratulations, you were the underdog. You won that, but now you got to beat fucking I Stole Your Love.
Well,
good luck.
Well, you're assuming that some of those cult favorites out there won't propel Dark Light into the next round.
Yeah, no, I know. That's got its own kind of thing. You know, looking at this, you know, anything else you want to say about the Catman bracket before we go into the generality of the poll?
No, go ahead.
I'm just saying, looking at this, let's think about it, right?
Yeah.
What albums had great representation? What albums had poor representation? We already said the solo albums. Paul and Ace had 3 each, I believe, right? Ace had Rip It Out, New York Groove, and Speeding Back.
Yeah.
And Paul had Tonight, It's All Right, and Wouldn't You Like to Know Me?
Yep.
Gene Radioactive, Peter Nothing.
Nope.
Dynasty. Let's go to the later albums. Dynasty.
Okay.
Has what? Charisma? I Was Made for Loving You? Sure Know Something?
Yep.
That's 2000. Really it. And 2000 Man.
2000 Man.
Okay.
Yep.
That's 4.
Yep.
Then you got Unmasked, which has, I believe, 3 songs. No, it has 2 songs in there, right?
It has 2 songs. It has 2 songs that are currently battling in the play-in rounds that have a shot. Again, when you hear this, you'll know the answer, but right now.
But, we were thinking, what else? I mean, could we get more representation? Yeah, you could have put any of those A songs. All three have a cult following of those A songs. But really, are you going to knock out a classic from the the first 6 albums to put that in there?
That right, and I think
see that.
You're right, and that's
that's why we didn't put it in.
But that's a lot of the discussion that we had. Is like, okay, is that you? I like it. I know it's Unmasked because right now the only song from Unmasked to make it into the brackets was Shandy. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, is that you? Great. So all these songs that are in the play-in rounds, those 8 songs, those could all be in the bracket. But like you said, we have to somewhere. We have to be, legitimate Kiss fans here and make this bracket for fans in general, not just for us personally. I mean, am I going to put, Into the Void in there? What am I going to, what out of those 64 teams or what's in there right now, the 60 teams, does Into the Void deserve to be a lock? No. It should have to fight its way in through another vote.
Kiss is, it suffers because of its great catalog, some of those songs. Too bad.
I mean, you have almost, like, those first 6 albums, you have almost like the whole albums, almost.
Yeah. So let's get the older albums, not the older, I should say, the newer of the makeup albums out of the way. Okay. So after Unmasked, we go to Creatures.
Elder.
Well, you're right. The Elder. So on the Elder, we were thinking about putting in, World Without Heroes because there was a video for it. They did play it in Unplugged, but I don't really hear a clamoring for, I love that song. Like, nobody talks. It's not So we're like, nah. But I do hear people talk about I and The Oath.
And Dark Light.
Now,
for the common, quote unquote, common Kiss fan, they're not even they probably never even heard of those songs.
Yeah. I mean, most of the people that are just, I know Kiss, I know Detroit Rock City, and,
right. But we didn't
Love Gun.
But we didn't necessarily, in order to make a Kiss bracket, we wanted to make it inclusive with everything in the makeup year. So, you know what? My opinion, those 3 songs from The Elder, they earned it into the bracket.
Yeah.
I think.
But anything else would be pushing it.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, like you said, World Without Heroes could have made it, but what would have been knocked out because of it?
Then we move into Creatures. The title track, obviously, is a pretty popular song. It had been played in years in concerts and stuff.
Yep.
I Still Love You is a great ballad. I thought I had to include another ballad, and just specifically because people that love that song from the Unplugged version is unbelievable.
And it's on a Live 3, too. Great version there, too.
Yeah, it's a great song. I just wanted to make sure that got some love. And then, obviously, the 2 great Gene songs, I Love It Loud and War Machine, had to get in there. Yep. I didn't want to push it further than that. So, I mean,
you're not going to put Danger on in there. No, you know what I mean?
I mean, I think we, if anything, I pushed it with Creatures, the song title. I would have taken that out before.
No, I think that deserved a spot. I think that deserved.
Yeah, but I'm saying if I was going to take any of those 3 songs out, I'd take Creatures out.
Oh yeah, you can't take out. You have to. War Machine. I
love those 4 songs. For me, but it's heavier, so we put that in, and you added higher than I did, so that stayed there, and that's why I Still Love had to play in. Yep. So then we went to the modern 3. Oh, actually, there was Killers, and on Killers we came up with let's just do
Nowhere to Run.
Let's just do Nowhere to Run. I mean, we were thinking of I'm a Legend Tonight, but I'm like,
nah. I think Nowhere to Run is another one of those fan favorite. Doesn't suffer from fatigue. It's a great song. It was on the box set.
So then we went into Psycho Circus.
Yep.
I mean, if I had my choice, I would put in songs like Within. I would put in song Raise Your Glasses, but that's me.
Right.
Okay. I wouldn't have put in Psycho Circus, but they play it all the time.
Yep.
And what do I always say about Paul on this? You're going to like Psycho Circus, like it or not.
I'm going to play it. It's like I'm going to brainwash you into thinking this song is good.
Yeah. So that had to go in, right?
Yep. And then we have
one other quick thought, though.
Go ahead.
I talked to you about this. I'm like, do we put It's My Life in here? But we're like, yeah, that's kind of a cult song. We love it, and it's awesome, but...
And it's only on the box set.
Yeah, I mean, no one's going to really know it other than real Kiss fans. And
Right.
I'd rather have a classic and see what people think about the classic song and see where they vote on it.
Yeah.
So that's why we didn't include that. And then we went to the new the last two albums. You know,
hold on real quick. Hold on. We did include Into the Void off of Psycho.
Oh, yeah, right. I'm sorry.
That song, I mean, that's a fan favorite. That's a great Ace song. I know it's off Psycho Circus. It's not everybody's favorite album. I really like that. I think that's a legitimate Ace song. I think it sounds like old Ace.
Ace has some very big, like, niche and, cult status.
Yeah.
Songs do with Kiss. So we want to see how they're going to do.
Yep.
It's interesting.
Yep.
So then let's move on. And we went to the last two albums. From Monster, the title, the main song, Hello Hallelujah, definitely goes in.
Well, it's facing Into the Void in a playing game.
Yeah. But that's the only one. That's the strongest of the songs, in our opinion.
Oh, yeah.
And Sonic Boom's a great album. I think it's a great album. We'll talk about that some other day.
Me too.
But we weren't going to put, as good as we think it is, we're not going to put that many songs from the newer stuff in there.
No, we put Modern Day Delilah in there, which would most Kiss fans would
and agree. Say they're playing it now, so
yes,
people are hearing it. So I want to get people's reaction, figure out what they think about that song.
Yep.
So let's take a step back.
Okay.
We go to the original Kiss album. Let's start from the beginning, right?
Yep.
So on the original Kiss album, we had, I think, everything with the exception of Kissing Time, Let Me Know, Love Theme.
Yep. They had the whole album.
Yeah. Strutter, Nothing to Lose, Firehouse, Cold Gin, Deuce, 100,000 Years, Black Diamond.
Wow. You can't argue with that. I mean,
no. What are you going to leave out?
Right. And the funny thing is, all of those songs have pretty high seeds.
As well as it should. They're the classic staples.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, they're all kind of, Nothing to Lose and Firehouse are 8s. Strutter's a 4. So that Black Diamond's a 2, Cold Gin's a 2, Deuce is a 1. I mean, that album has earned that respect.
So then we go to Hotter Than Hell. Okay, yep. 10 songs on the album. We have all but, I think, 7 songs.
Yep.
Got to Choose, Parasite, Hotter Than Hell, Let Me Go, Rock and Roll, Watching You, Coming Home, Strange Ways. We didn't put in Going Blind. We didn't put in All the Way in Mainline.
Yep.
I wish we put in All the Way in Mainline, but honestly,
those are real deep cuts.
I love those two songs.
Oh, no, me too.
Them. But honestly, if we were going to put one of the songs left out, we'd probably put Going Blind because people know that.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
So, that was a tough one too.
Yep.
But that's 7 songs.
Well, that's the thing. Like the point you're making is not only is it going to be tough to fill out this bracket, but it was tough for us to even make the bracket.
Exactly. Then you get into Dress to Kill. You got 10 songs there. We put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. 6. We put in Room Service. We put in Rock Bottom. We put in Come On and Love Me, She, Love Her All I Can, and Rock and Roll Night. What we didn't put in was Two Timer, which was the next closest. We battled that whether to be a playing game, song.
That's right.
Ladies in Waiting, Getaway, that was almost in there too, Getaway.
Yep.
And Anything for My Baby didn't make it.
Nope.
Right?
But again, like you said, those have to be in here.
Where are you going to put the ones that, what are you going to take out to put those other ones in? So then we go to Destroyer. 9 songs there to choose from. With the exception of Great Expectations, Flaming Youth, and Sweet Pain, the other 6 made it.
Yep.
Detroit Rock City, King of the Nighttime World, God of Thunder, Shout It Out Loud, Beth, Do You Love Me? Jesus Christ.
I'll say this, and I know this might be controversial, although I love the song. I can see certain fans being okay with pulling out King of the Nighttime World in place of something else. Not me. No, not me.
Rocks.
No, I know.
But you can. I stand your ground if that's what you think. Some people would say. Yeah.
I love the song, but I can see people being like, I wish you had, you know, I don't know, whatever. Getaway in there instead of that. You know what I mean?
Sweet Pain.
No.
Flaming Youth. Flaming Youth maybe. They've played that a few times recently.
I like that song. It's not a bad song.
People can't get over that title.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
Great Expectations. That's been on a few compilations too.
That's terrible. No one wants to hear that.
You don't want to hear it on Kiss Alive 4?
No.
Then let's get to a favorite of mine, Rock and Roll Over. Oh, okay. Now talk about a great album.
We actually, real quick, had to control ourselves because I think we almost had this whole friggin' album in here.
Control yourself!
Exactly.
Honestly, we took I Want You, Take Me, Calling Dr. Love, Ladies' Room. We left out Baby Driver. We left out Love 'Em Leave 'Em, which was very close.
That was so close.
Mr. Speed we put in. I definitely left out See You in Your Dreams. We put in Hard Luck Woman, and we put in Making Love. Yep. With the exception of See You in Your Dreams, I thought all of them could have made it.
That whole Love 'Em Leave 'Em was hanging by a thread. Yep, agreed.
Yeah, unbelievable. That's a great album. The whole thing could have went in.
Yep.
And then we're back down to Love Gun.
Now, my opinion. This whole album could have made it, but I know there's some real deep cuts on this album that had no chance of making it.
You sound like Mo from Slapshot.
Know. That's why I said it. That's exactly why I said it like that.
10 songs. We put in I Stole Your Love, Christine 16, Shock Me, Tomorrow and Tonight, Love Gun, Plaster Caster. Yeah, and Plaster Caster. We left out Got Love for Sale. That could have made it.
God damn, that should be in there. That should be a number one seed.
Yeah. We left out, thankfully, Hooligan.
That should be
I'm a soccer hooligan.
That should have been a number 2 seed.
And
Almost Human.
Gene on the Toilet. And definitely left out Then She Kissed Me.
Yeah. All those songs, it's tough. And then keep going to Dynasty. Look at what we left out there.
We're not going to go to Dynasty yet. We got to go to Kiss Alive 2.
Oh, yep, you got me.
Right?
Yep.
That's what you really got to go to next. And we're going to the second part of that, where you have All American Man, which made it.
Yep.
Rockin' USA, thank God, got dumped on.
Hell no.
Larger Than Life.
Very close.
Very, very close. Rock and Ride made it. And any way you slice it, want it, fuck it, whatever you want to do to it, that didn't make it. Yeah. So what do you think on those?
Larger Than Life was hanging by a thread, but you gotta have Rocket Ride and All American Man for sure.
Yeah,
I think fan favorites.
And the last one I think we need to get to, because I think we got to all the ones. Dynasty in order. We went I Was Made for Loving You, 2000 Man, Sure Knows Something, Charisma. And we left out Dirty Sanchez, which I think we should have put in. I love that song.
I know.
Magic Touch we could have put in. Hard Times we could have put in. X-Ray Eyes we could have put in. Save Your Love we could have put in.
This, I'll tell you right now, making the cuts for Dynasty was that was hard. I almost, after you read them out loud like that, I almost feel guilty.
Yep. A lot of great songs we left out there.
Yep.
And that's, this is kind of how a tough decision. This is how we came up with it, guys.
Just briefly comment on the solo albums too.
Oh, thank you. Well, the solo albums, what are you going to say? Jeans? What are you going to put in there? What do people know other than Radioactive?
I don't know.
See You in Your Dreams, maybe because of the Unplugged.
Living in Sin.
Boing. And then let's go to Peter. I'm not taking out a classic to put in a Peter song. It's just not a Kiss.
No.
It just doesn't go.
I'll tell you what. There could have been more songs from Paul's album, in my opinion. You could have put Love in Chains. You could have put Goodbye.
Yeah. I know, but those are cult kind of things.
No, I know.
I think the three that we may have put in Move On.
Yeah. I'm not crazy about. Yeah.
I'm in Need of Love or What's on My Mind.
No. Ozone, Snowblind.
What's on my mind?
Yeah.
Ozone.
Yeah. That's a terrible song. But I think we gave the solo albums the credit that they deserve. You know, I think.
Fact is, we gave Ace 3.
Yeah, and we gave Paul 3.
Yeah.
I think if people were going to have a gripe with anything about this, and again, it depends on your level of Kiss fandom. There might be people who are like, "How the hell did you put Dark Light on here and didn't put in X-Ray Eyes?" Or you know what I mean? And
that's what we want to hear, though. We want to hear your feedback. That's what makes this awesome.
Yeah, I mean, we've already gotten. I mean, like I said, as of right now, we've already gotten a lot of feedback just on the 4 play-in polls. People are like, holy shit. People are like, I cannot believe you made me choose between these 2 songs. I'm like, well, brace yourself because it ain't going to get easy. It's going to get worse.
Brace yourself, fool.
Exactly. It's going to get worse. I mean, there's going to be decisions as a Kiss fan that you're not going to want to make. And
real big decisions, Tommy.
Exactly. Exactly.
God. Yeah. Thank you, Arnold. Yeah.
Yes.
So that's how we came up with it. So we're going to have these polls go throughout the next couple of weeks.
Yep.
Please, again, the best way for this to work is for you guys to be involved, right? Interactive, talk, pick, share, retweet.
Yep. Vote,
yell at us.
Yeah. Start fights. How the hell did you leave out Just a Boy?
Yeah, I mean, whatever. We don't care. The more interactive this is, the better it's going to be for all of us.
Exactly.
And I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
I'm dying to see how this works out.
Yep.
But we won't know until this thing keeps trucking along. And
Zeus, do you think there's a? Yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Finish no, go right ahead.
I was just going to say, do you think that this has, like, I mean, could we be looking at, like, you know, a boring Final Four, quote unquote?
Love Gun versus Detroit Rock City versus Deuce versus Rock and Roll All Night.
Right, like all the number 1 seeds.
Great, but I still would love to see what Rock and Roll All Night versus Detroit Rock City would do. I still would like to see Love Gun versus Deuce.
You're right.
So even as boring as it is,
there's still got to be a winner.
Yeah, what I think is going to be, that would be boring getting them to the finals.
Yeah,
it won't be boring when they go against each other.
I hear what you're saying. If the 4 number 1 seeds make it to the Final Four, which I do not think is going to happen.
Yeah,
you're right. That's going to be really interesting to see. Because you're right, the way Detroit Rock City they would draw Rock and Roll All Night in that final, Final Four. That would be ugly.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that it's going to be something that's going to be a lot of fun. We won't know until we see it, right? And you know what? Just please play along.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what we want people to do. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
That's it. One.
That's it. Won't.
All right. So. Nice conversation there, buddy.
Yep. Good little bracket breakdown like the nerds at CBS Sports. Yep.
Bracketology.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is.
Yeah. So, what do we do next, buddy? We go to the questions?
Do you have it? Yeah, what do you got?
All right. All right. I got a question from Frankie T, who hit us up on email. Our email, for all those out there, feel free to please email us at shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. Ask us any question you like, whether about the band, about the moon, whatever you like. So I got a question here from Frankie T, who emailed us. Who will be the last man standing in Kiss? Now, I don't know if he's saying.
Do you mean like who's the last? Oh, like dead or like
dead? So if I was going to say in the band, I would say Gene.
Okay.
Or I would probably say unless they do what they said they're going to do, which is they'll all, Paul and Gene will be replaced. I think Gene could stay longer than Paul. Paul can't do it anymore with his voice. There's no way. As far as staying alive, Gene's mom was like 1,000 years old, and Paul's dad is like 1,000. He's still alive.
Yep.
Holy shit, they have some good genes in their family.
Yeah.
I don't know. Put the odds on, Tom. We'll go back to the tape and vote. Who lives longer, Gene or Paul?
I really hope that's not the question he was asking, because that's fucking awful.
It says last.
I don't want to. We're not doing a Kiss death pool.
I would vote Paul. He's healthier.
All right. Well, if we're talking just Kiss, I think I disagree with you. I think there is zero chance that Gene stays in the band without Paul. No chance.
Okay.
I think if Paul hangs it up and says that he's done being in Kiss as a group, I can't see. All right, you know what? All right, not to go off on a tangent here. Let me change my argument here. Let's say Paul says, you know what? I can't physically do this anymore. Mm-hmm. Okay, but Eric, Tommy, and Gene say we want to continue. Would they ever envision getting another Star Child?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
And you think the fans would entertain that?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
I think they would entertain that before they would entertain another demon.
Nope. No.
Yeah, they don't have to sing Paul's songs. Just do Gene songs and go on tour. Do a small venues.
No.
Who cares? It's never gonna happen anyways. But
no, you're right.
So, all right, what do you got?
I actually got a different question. I had something planned. I'll save it for maybe next week. But I got a different question here. So we're going to see Kiss. We're going to see two shows. We're going to see them. All right, fine. I'll ask them both real quick. We're going to see Kiss at Mohegan in Connecticut, and we're going to see them in the Garden in Boston. Mm-hmm. We know what the set list is.
Yeah.
You have to go to the bathroom during the show. What song?
Psycho Circus. Right?
Really?
Yeah,
absolutely. It's that easy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not even close.
Okay.
What about you?
I would go during the encore when they do Beth.
No, because that's different. They go up to the thing. I want to see how cheesy it is.
Stupid.
It's something they've never done before. I've never seen it. I want to see how cheesy it is.
The song's fucking terrible.
They go up to the piano and they fucking rub his back and Paul jerks him off.
Well, speaking of piano, I got another question here.
Yeah.
From the piano tuner there, Eric the Buttnut.
What?
This guy wants to know, I know that you guys continually reference the Jerky Boys throughout your episodes.
Yeah.
So who is better, Frank Rizzo or Saul Rosenberg? And I'm not making this up. I'm not making this up. We did get this question on our email from shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. He signed it Eric the Buttnut. Because that's a Jerky Boys reference, but people who listen to us know that we have a thing for the Jerky Boys. So, Saul or Frank?
Probably Frank. Saul is like cringeworthy, whereas Frank, like when people don't know how to react, like, oh, I was beaten mercifully, but like. Frank is like fucking hilarious.
You know the empty toilet paper tubes?
Yeah. I would have to go Frank, wouldn't you?
No. Frank makes me laugh, but something about Saul. Oh, boy. It's a big... he beat me, and then my shoes fell off. I mean, come on, that's great. Frank Rizzo just yells at people.
That's what makes it hilarious. He just calls people names and they just respond to it like nothing.
I was initially hurt by his words. Come on, Saul's the man. Oh. One more little tidbit here. We didn't talk about this during Kiss News because it's not Kiss News. I posted this on our Facebook. The Jerky Boys have a new album coming out.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. I mean, I assume it's just Frank and Saul and Jack Torse.
Nowadays, how do you get away? We were talking about this. It's 2019. How do you get away with prank calling?
You call people that are like foreigners or don't have English as their first language.
Yeah, but that's not funny. That's mean. I don't want to hear that.
What do you think? It was nice what they were doing before the people? I mean, come on, that's what it was.
Louis Rocco,
Mr. Rocco. So I think that'll be awesome.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, my friend.
Okay, my friend. Famous last words, Thomas?
Oh, like a blade of a sword, I am forged in flame, fiery hot.
Ooh. Well, you know what? I want to give everybody some good advice over the weekend.
Uh-oh.
And from the philosopher Paul Stanley, listening to the teacher, the bosses, and the preachers ain't never done nobody good. Sleep on that, Kiss Army. So, with that being said, everybody, have a great weekend. Please do not forget to go on the polls, vote, find us on Twitter, find us on Instagram, Facebook. You can download us and review us on iTunes, Stitcher,